Hi, I'm just curious as a fellow Buckeye, how much you had gotten to know Corey Linsley over the years, and if you've talked to him at all since the draft about what to expect in Green Bay, and also how today felt as a whole.
Yeah, I watched a lot of film on Corey inevitably throughout my college career because he went to Ohio State and because he's one of the best for sure. Um, and so I'd known him just from seeing him around, and then fortunately, just in passing at Ohio State, I did get to see him there for a little while and talk to him after the draft, which was really cool. And I was able to pick his brain and talk football with him really, which was nice. And then today, I mean, it's a dream come true. It's hard to put into words what it really feels like to step out on the practice field for the first time.
All right, Wes Hodkowitz, go ahead.
Yeah, and just getting a chance to work with Adam a little bit. I'm sure you've talked to him the last 2 weeks, but what do you think about just your first impressions of Steno and obviously Luke kind of leading that room?
Yeah, every impression that I've got has been incredible. It seems like, obviously they're great coaches, and then just seems like the mood in the room is great, and I can't wait until everyone gets here and I get to meet everyone. But for a first day, it was awesome.
We have Bill Huber next. Go ahead, Bill.
What was it like growing up with your family, Josh, with your dad playing, your brother playing, and obviously I would think a really competitive group as a kid coming up?
Yeah, it was super competitive. I had two older brothers, and both of them are really good athletes, and so they beat up on me a good bit growing up, and I kind of had to take the brunt of it until a certain point where I got bigger than both of them, and now it's kind of reversed roles, but super competitive growing up. Yeah.
All right, Wes Hodkowitz, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, I know we asked you this on draft night, but at 6'5", what has allowed you to kind of succeed in that center role? Being a little bit bigger, but then also, still being able to play that spot.
Yeah. For me, I think my first couple steps are what separate me as a bigger center. I know, like short area quickness is a really important thing for a center. And I think that taller guys can lack that at times. And that's something that I worked on and put a ton of effort and focus and energy into when I made the move to center. And so I always felt like that was one of the biggest things that allowed me to succeed at the position while being the size that I am.
Matt Schneidman, go ahead.
Josh, I understand Ohio State Stadium is no slouch, but walking out into Lambeau the first time, kind of being surrounded by all that history, were you able to soak it in a little bit? What was that kind of like for the first time?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words. When I was a little kid, this was all I ever wanted to do. This is, just like a ton of other little kids. And for me to be able to live that dream out, like I know literally millions of others want to, just kind of almost a humbling experience. And I couldn't be more excited about it.
Dave Schrader, go ahead.
When you start to digest the playbook and everything that's getting thrown at you, how big of a challenge is that when you're in your first few days here?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a challenge. No question about it. I know I can remember the first day that I started looking at it and really digging into it. It was pretty overwhelming, just because there was so much information, and I could see that it was so much information. I had no grasp on any of it because I hadn't learned any of it yet. But after a day or two, I felt, tenfold better about learning it and all of those things. It's a lot for sure, no question about it. But I'm very confident in learning it and moving forward.
All right, we'll do just a couple more. If you've got any questions, raise your hand. Wes Hodkowitz, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, a two-part question. One, did you know any of the other incoming offensive linemen with you that are coming in? I know there's a couple Big Ten guys. And then also, regardless, what's that been like, kind of spending the day with them and getting to know that class?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I've known a couple of them. Just I don't personally know them, but I knew who they were, and then I ended up going and training at the same place that Cole Van Lanen trained at before I got the surgery on my foot, and so I personally knew Cole, and it's been awesome getting to hang out with those guys and spend time with them. That's one of the things these last several months that I missed a lot was kind of getting to spend time with teammates and just like the little things, like we just piled into a minivan and came back over to Lambeau after practice. Just those type of things I missed the last several months. So it's going great.
Okay, we'll actually do two more now. Marcus Eversole, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, I talked to your O-line coach at Ohio State. I always say his last name wrong, but Studrawa. And he told a story about how just last week or whenever it was after the draft, he saw you working out at OSU and studying the Packers playbook. Is that true? How much were you doing, or is he just embellishing on your behalf?
I was digging into it as much as I could at the time. Yeah. With everything that I had. So yeah, I was at Ohio State's facility studying, just trying to learn it as fast as I can.
Bill Huber, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, obviously there is a hole in the lineup at center. What is your mindset? Do you come here with the mindset of that's my job, I'm going to win it? What are you thinking coming in here?
Yeah. My mindset right now is to just learn this playbook as fast as I can and to have the ability to be flexible, and do the best job that I can and go wherever the coaches end up putting me. If that's at center, if that's at guard, we'll see. And I'm just going to do everything that I can to be the best player I can. And then, we'll see where the cards fall at the end of it.
All right, Ryan Wood, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the toe, and I came in late, so feel free to pass if you've already mentioned it. But it looked like you were doing everything out there today, and I know that you said after the draft that you're starting to do offensive line drills, not quite running 100%. Where are you with the toe, and is it giving you any limitations right now at this point?
Yeah, you were the first person to ask about it, so no worries. And I'm doing really good with it, to be honest with you. It seems like it's getting better and better every week. I'm able to run pretty much full speed. I was doing offensive line drills all day today. There are a couple things that I'm getting held out on, and that's more of like just a safety thing for now. Why push it hard in May when we don't absolutely have to? So there's a few things that I'm just kind of being careful with, but other than that, I'm doing pretty much everything.